Sorta Ridiculous is sponsored in part by Drunken Cobra. Drunken Cobra is a diverse, inclusive neighborhood pub in East Tosa. It offers year-round weekly events like karaoke and music performances, as well as stand-up comedy. Drunken Cobra is located at 6818 West North Avenue. Drunken Cobra, obey me.
For those of you listening at home, he's got the snake puppet.
Right,
So
for those-
he is the puppet
Right.
that if you
it was
subscribe
on
and like to sortaridiculous.com,
There's more information at sortaridiculous.com and our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and inactive TikTok. It's a podcast, and obviously it's a radio show.
But what's the name of the show, Darren?
The name of the show is Darren's Narcissism. No.
.com.
Sorta Ridiculous.
.com.
Smash the button. Smash the button. 2 times now, y'all. Cha-cha, real smooth.
Don't win friends with Sam.
Turn it out. All right, folks. My name is Darren, and I'm usually here. All right. And with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Billy Ray.
Happy Thursday, River West. Here we go again.
And Misha.
Hi, everybody.
And Brandon.
Hey, I'm here today.
That's right. And we love you, Brandon.
You know why I like you, Brandon? Your
Why?
unbridled enthusiasm. You come into a room and it's contagious, I tell you.
Who could turn a world on with his
I
smile?
just light the whole room up.
Yeah. So, like, basically, you guys know who Brandon is. Brandon is the guy who's responsible for all of the video, all the cool video content and photography and stuff of Sorta Ridiculous. All right. So, any videos that you see on the Sorta Ridiculous YouTube are posted for the most part, Brandon has taken part of it, and most likely he did it all. So
He doesn't have to be on. He has skills. No.
Yeah.
Misha and I, we got to dance like the
We're
little
getting
monkeys we are.
Right.
and
That's
earn
because
our
we're
keep
funny,
here.
though. That's
Well,
that's,
yeah,
that's
You're
the trade-off.
entertainers, though.
Yeah, we're entertaining.
Yes.
We're very entertaining.
Which, speaking of entertaining, with us today we have a cool guest that I've known for a while now, and from the same alma mater. Yeah, the dude behind you.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
That being said,
That guy.
Did I say that?
no.
Aha! So today's
Beat me to
guest
it.
is Domenic Serena. Am I saying that right? Serena?
Serena. Yeah.
Serena! Woo!
I've known this guy a long time. What's your name again?
No, you know, I know mostly as
Pronounced
Dom.
Dominic, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, so he's an animator and illustrator. He does a bunch of cool creative stuff, and I'm really glad to have you on the show because I have questions.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting. I
Three
have
at the
some
very
answers, hopefully. So.
Well, yes. So why don't we? How are you doing today?
Good. I was.
That's
actually
not
very
one of the
excited.
actual questions. Is it just?
Yeah,
it's
you have
just-
2 left now.
Yeah.
Right. It's in his contract. 3 questions, that's it.
I'm pretty stoked. I'm excited to be here. Excited to be part of the radio show. So ready to take us there.
All right. Well, let's do it.
I'll take you there.
Asking you.
And it's prequel song.
questions.
Can you show me how to get to there?
Recalculating.
Did you remember that?
No.
They did a prequel song.
They did?
Can you get to that? Can you? Show
Well,
me how
I
to
think
get
they're
to
all like a lot of the Staple Singer stuff was gospel-y, and one of the recurring themes in gospel is getting there or going there.
What about being there?
or
Taken there?
Being taken there.
It's always what you're going to do when you get there.
Right. This is
Yeah.
actually one of the fundamental flaws of Christianity. It's a lot of what's going to happen when we get there, not what's going on here.
Huh. Interesting.
That's right. I said it.
The gloves are off.
So, tell us.
Yeah, wishful
now that we're on the
praising.
subject of religion,
right,
this is
right,
gonna get
right.
hot.
We're going to talk about politics later. It's okay.
Answer these questions 3.
All right. Question
All right.
1. What is something sort of ridiculous about you?
I was once a doorman for Donald Driver, and the door didn't work.
Oh, wait, what? How does that work?
Problem with that. So I guess going into that, when I was younger, I used to work with. They've changed it now, but it's essentially was U.S. Cellular Arena, Frontiers Airline Center, which I forget what it's called now, downtown, and then also Milwaukee Theater. So we had a show with the Milwaukee Wave, and I was one of the people that's stationed over by the players for entry for that. And during the halftime show, they had Donald Driver on, which at the time, showing my age here, was one of the main players for Packers. And so I didn't even know about it at the time. So I just turned around and I'm like, oh, it's Donald Driver. And then he's walking towards me. And then they're announcing everything on there. I'm like, oh, I got to open the door. And the door jammed. And so there's my 14-year-old self like this is not how this was supposed to go in my head. This is not how I'm supposed to meet celebrities.
Rip it off the hinges.
Did your voice break while you were doing it? Sorry, Mr. Driver.
No, I didn't say anything, but he saw me struggling, and then he just I swear, I remember him just one-handing it, and then that door was actually loose for the rest of the game, and I was scared that it was going to open on the players.
Oh, that's definitely sort of ridiculous.
Yeah.
.com.
Right.
Oh, right. Sorry.
All right, so question 2. What is something sort of ridiculous to you?
Oh, man. See, I thought about this, and I thought it would be ironic to say I find it sort of ridiculous. Anyone that watches like a Twitch Let's Play, like the idea that you're spending your time for hours to essentially sit and read a chat while someone else plays a game for you, I find absolutely ridiculous.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. This is why. So growing up as a gamer, I've been gaming since I was 3 years old. When I was in a random animation class, someone was watching Pokemon being played, and I was like, wait, what is this? And I was like, the person isn't playing. What joy do you get from watching other people play video games? And then I realized there's not a lot of people that play video games. Don't play it as well enough to be able to
see, and that's where I will watch. I don't watch Twitch, but I'll find a YouTube video of somebody doing like the walkthrough of a game. If it's a game where there's a storyline that I'm interested in the storyline, but I don't want to put the money down, and I don't have the time or the patience to go through it to play the story. To say, okay, I've heard about this game and there's a good story. Right. I want to watch the thing, not just the cutscenes.
See, now that's different though, because if it's a YouTube video, you can play it at any time. But if they're streaming it, you have to make time out of your day.
And these are people who won't go see theater because a live show is just too much. To handle.
And they'll type in the chat and be like, oh, it's about interacting with the streamer. Okay, you didn't see that, but maybe if I type this. Okay, you didn't read that either.
This is why I think chat and live streaming in general is the downfall of society. You know what I mean?
I realize the irony because we're on like social media.
We're on social media, right. You're watching this on YouTube as we speak.
Except our audience, who's the greatest ever. Like, comment, subscribe.
Right. And they're watching it not live. They're definitely not watching it live. I mean, Brandon's got enough to do.
Hopefully they are alive and not sort of a comatose state.
Twitch is stupid. I'm just going to say it. Twitch is stupid. I'm sorry. What? I used to think Discord was stupid. I've gotten involved in some groups on Discord now that I'm like, okay, Discord isn't dumb. It's just a group chat that never ends. But like Twitch is stupid. Twitch is so stupid.
Yeah, Twitch is very interesting.
Every time I watch Twitch, I feel like my IQ points slowly leaking out of my ears.
All right. So with that being said, I farted. No. So Twitch. I was like, I need to. It made my butt twitch. So I was going to make a Sorta Ridiculous Twitch, but wouldn't you know it?
What?
There is a Sorta Ridiculous handle on Twitch that's been inactive for 6 years. You want to know what this person did with it? They streamed like 6 times, and it was Black Ops 3. And I was like, that's not even the best Black Ops. And I can't contact this person. I'm like, come on, dude. Come on. Nah, if I would have just hopped on it like a year before, people wouldn't look for Sorta Ridiculous on Twitch and find some mediocre, mid Black Ops 3 Call of Duty.
So there you go, social media nuts. Don't worry. Don't bother with Twitch. We're not on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is a joke.
Well, actually, I won't say that we're not on Twitch.
But not as Sorta Ridiculous.
Not as Sorta Ridiculous alone. I believe it's like, I think it's Sorta Ridiculous. You know what? I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know next week, all right? Maybe on his first
so hang
live.
on a second. So you have a social media channel, but you don't remember what it's called.
It's Sorta Ridiculous something, but there wasn't enough characters for me to put Sorta Ridiculous Productions, and I didn't want to go
Thrill How
Production.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, if you're gonna go all the way, then you need to go all the way.
2 forks, man.
Right. Well, that's a Twitch too.
What?
Yeah. See, one of the things.
And
that I
here we
made
are
sure
bad
to
mouthing
do-
it, and you've got a whole bunch of channels.
Well, it's inactive. Well, my TikTok's inactive too.
Then there's somebody with two forks now who's looking is like, all this guy did is a radio show or whatever the heck you did on it for the Twitch, and he's on his own podcast.
You know, for
because
the
everybody's
Twitch.
got a podcast, and he's griping about it.
But yeah, so basically, we agree with you.
Okay.
We're in
Sure.
solidarity.
That's the long
and
way
all that.
around on that. But yes, we agree with you.
I like how he brought it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You're the guest. That's what we're supposed.
Hey,
we want to hear.
Oh, hey, hi, Dom.
How you guys
no,
doing?
we can do our rants on our own time. All right. So question 3: What is something sort of ridiculous that has happened to you?
Okay, so this one I think I brought to Darren's attention a little bit earlier, but I can finally talk about it now because NDAs are rough, especially when you're getting into the industry.
In perpetuity and throughout the universe.
Yes, yeah. I guess just to preface this, I am Jabberjack on social media, and you might know me because I do conceptual artwork and character design for film and TV.
Ah.
And I can finally talk about some of the stuff I've been doing for the past
Ooh,
3 years.
that was going to be my first question. Yes.
So one of the biggest projects I've actually done was one of the first ones that I stepped up to. So I guess I'll start with it. With the big reveal is so I'm on Instagram. I'm doing like little pieces here and there, like commission work.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I've worked on like kid shows that have never aired. I've worked on books that never got published. You know, all this stuff, and some that did, and that you don't know me for them. So. I finally get hit up on a random like DM message on Instagram, and as someone in the industry, like you're always thinking like, all right, is someone going to try to take advantage of this? Am I going to deal with someone that doesn't know the industry that well? But you always answer. That's what I'm told.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I hit him up, and I'll spare the details with the names because I think the name brand will give it away, but. So basically he's like, hey, I'm just wondering if we could connect with you on Google Hangout because we have a proposition for you. And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? He's like, okay, I'm going to connect you with an email chain, and we're gonna set this up. But first I need you to sign an NDA before we begin. And I'm like, okay, cool, all right, NDA, all right, whatever. I'm still like almost rolling my eyes at this, and then I look at the email chain, and I'm in a couple of Discord groups that are like animator groups as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the call with a couple of people talking like, yeah, I got this opportunity. It's going to happen in like a half hour. I guess I'm going to meet with some people. And they're like, oh, who's in the email chain? And I drop some of the names from the email chain. And then they IMDb and they get really quiet in the call. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you know these guys are on IMDb, right? I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden they're like, you should really, like, they're not even telling me. They're like, you should really look up some of these people. And I looked up the first name, and they're like Nickelodeon 5 years, Cartoon Network 2 years, and like I started reading these shows, and like I had a Saturday morning with this guy, like,
I feel like I know this person.
and then all of a sudden I get goosebumps. They're like, "Yo, what's another name?" And I drop another name, and they're like, "Oh, storyboard artist for Avatar: The Last Airbender."
Oh wow. Okay.
And I'm like, and they're like, you're gonna talk with these people? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, how many people are in the call? I'm like, all of them. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what's the NDA for? I'm like, I obviously don't know. And then so I'm scrambling now to like, because it's in like an Apple format and I'm on a PC. So now I'm scrambling like, I need to get this ready. I need to look as professional as possible in like 10 minutes. So I finally get in the call. It goes well. And then a year later, I can finally talk about doing some preliminary work for what is now being greenlit by Netflix for Stranger Things, the animated series.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. And I'm 90% sure some of my stuff got seen by Russo brothers, like
Nice.
in the
Nice.
room, and they approved it. I thank you guys. You know who you are, who gave me the props. I look forward to when I can actually share the stuff I worked on. But now that I can actually talk because it's greenlit, that's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Because
It makes sense to do an animated show. Those kids are growing so fast. I think they're not little kids anymore. That's
oh yeah, and I can't go
they're
into
getting less cute by the minute. It's,
everyone's very aware that they're pretty much close adults now. So
if they don't make a Ramones movie with that one kid as Joey Ramone, I think that's just a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
now I can't go.
Because he's just one pair of shades away in a leather
Actually,
jacket.
I heard that Pete Davidson was allegedly supposed to play Joey Ramone. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Anyway,
Yeah.
either way.
But I guess moral of the story: always check the DMs and just assume the best and expect the worst, because you never know when you'll be wrong. And I am happy I answered the DM.
Oh
so.
no, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to it now. I know a guy who did part of that.
And
It's always fun.
And I guess to wrap it up too, the people in the industry know each other. So if you do good work, your name gets thrown around. So this is not my first Netflix credit anymore. So I have some repeat work, but that's the only one I can talk about. The problem is NDA purgatory, where I can't update my socials with anything I worked on. I can't update a portfolio unless it's a private portfolio. And then everyone's like, "Oh, Dom, what are you working on right now?" I'm like,
I can't talk about it.
No,
It's like working with the CIA. Would probably hire security.
It's like, well, what did you do in particular? I'm like, I can't answer that. They're like, you're just saying that because you don't do anything.
See, you need to invent a show, that sounds like really, really good. And then as people are talking about this show, like, when's it coming on? It's coming.
It's a show called Weirder Stuff.
There were
Rocket boobies. Just come up with, come up with like the craziest thing. Like tell them like the show that you would ultimately would want to make.
Oh yeah,
And just BS them, and ultimately people will be like, "Well, maybe we want to see that show. And maybe that word will get up to get your own."
Yeah. So how long have you been working on your craft?
Yeah.
So I am a glutton for punishment, and I graduated from MATC years ago. But it took me 6 years to get that 2-year degree, if you feel me.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're speaking. You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Right.
But in effect, I would say, as far as professionally, like there comes a point where you kick it into high gear, and then it's a difference between taking it as like a hobby after time and like I'm setting time aside in my day to be working on this kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
Like socials be damned for like a month or so. And I think that was 5 years ago. And then everything's popping off in the past 2 years.
Okay.
But that's not counting the 10 years before that, where I was just kind of drifting, not knowing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So.
Right. There is one particular piece, and you know what I'm going to bring up. There is this series. So I met him at formerly at Binary, which is now someplace by a different name. But he had this series of prints from the characters from Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
awesome. Yeah.
and they are. It's sick. Like I would purchase them right now if they were available. I told you, and you said you had them on like your shoes, like put it on your on, like, some shoes
I
or
probably
something
should have
like
worn
that,
the shoes, but I had a family member that was very nice, and they were able to get a hold of some of the copies of the images, and they put them on a bunch of like Converse.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Got some high tops, and like, wow, you used my stuff without permission. That's great.
You haven't made it until that's happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Like,
how you know that
it's
you
fine
can-
because
yeah.
you're family.
Yeah.
But and his art style is pretty.
Well, while we're talking, let's not wait till the end of the show when we're all trying to like jump in at the last minute. Where can we see some of your artwork, especially your original
Ooh, yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so-
I only
yes.
found out this afternoon that you existed and were coming on the show. I didn't get a chance to research
known
your
this.
stuff.
I still don't know that you
I just saw your
I'm
ArtStation.
okay, yeah,
Or
yeah.
whatever, whatever the link.
the ArtStation. Yeah.
You can find my stuff on ArtStation under Jabberjack, JABBERJOCK. Also, I'm more active on Instagram. I do a lot of my preliminary sketches or like process stuff on there.
Okay,
too.
but ArtStation?
ArtStation, yeah, I haven't updated
Is that
it in a while.
Is that a
Is
.com or a
your-
dot?
It's artstation.com. It's a hosting website. There's been a bit of controversy lately with the AI debacle, but you can look that up later. That's a whole
Okay.
bit. So I haven't updated that too soon, but it has my finalized work on there. And then my Instagram will have the stuff that I'm currently working on, or
Is
the
your-
stuff that I'm able
And
to
that's also
release.
Jabberjack.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So yeah, he has some cool. I like the line, the way you do your line work's pretty freaking sick. I'm gonna pass this around just because we are Okay, here we go. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So you guys,
For those of you tuning in at home, they're really cool pictures.
No, here.
passed
So
around.
you guys are better at.
Oh, okay. This is very painterly.
I was.
Okay, I really like
Yeah.
what's going on here. No, it's fantastic. I'm not gonna.
So, what got you interested in animation and illustration? And stuff?
Extremely painting.
I mean, I was always like a creative kid growing up doing the arts and crafts stuff as early as like kindergarten. But I mean, that's not really what gets you into it. That's just like every kid ever. But I think
Sticking with it, I think, is what.
Well, that just shows you're insane. But, I think it was like there's a lot of those kids growing up that are like, oh, most artistic, blah blah blah.
This is awesome. Sorry. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sick, right?
But I think it was I started comparing my stuff and trying to get better with like the professionals. I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of the people around me until I was in college. And it's one of those things where I took one step into this technical college in this classroom, and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I was voted most artistic. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Because I'm walking into a room with every other kid that was probably voted most artistic.
Yeah.
So like where do I actually stand? And that's when like the internet really came into being, which is still a problem to this day, but at the same time it kind of opens your eyes like you can really go further than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But you're also keenly aware of the ocean of talent that's out there.
Yeah,
right?
it's
You know?
the Dunning-Kruger effect, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
the less I knew, the better off I was until I wanted to get better. And then if you want to get better, you're going to hit that peak of how much you don't know. And you either get terrified of it or you get terrified of it and exhilarated.
Yeah.
And I got exhilarated, so.
Nice.
No,
nice.
that's definitely what's up. So, as an animator, what who inspired you? Like, what did you like to watch as a kid?
There's a couple of names that come to mind. I was a big fan of the Disney Renaissance stuff, dressed up as Aladdin, caught a cold that year. But big one was Gendy Tartakovsky. If you're out there, Gendy, and looking for more people, I am very available for you, my friend.
The version of Clone Wars they should have stuck with.
Oh yeah, and they based a lot of the designs, the 3D designs, and the 2D designs.
Sure.
But I, as far back as Dexter's Laboratory and What a Cartoon Show with Craig McCracken. Also,
Oh yes.
That's a good
get
call.
some Van Partible Johnny Bravo, getting all the greats.
You like your
in there.
McCracken, your No Neck Joe and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a big fan of that. Big fan of Samurai Jack.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I was a big fan of. James Baxter is a staple, but I was a big fan of Milt Kahl. If you know that animator's name.
No.
Rings a
Yeah.
bell.
He was on the tail end of like the 9 Old Men at Disney. That was the guy who did like all the handwork and all the characters for like Sword in the Stone.
Oh, okay.
Really good character work. Any traditional animator would be like, yeah, I know Milt Kahl. So he's known for his hands.
Okay.
So
next time I pop on Disney Plus, I'll have to watch Sword in the Stone and watch watch the hands.
His hands are so good.
Disney hands.
And hands are niche because they're
quintessential.
apparently really difficult
Well,
to.
in that period,
And the
of
head
Disney-
tilt. He does head tilts.
Oh, the head tilt. Okay, that's everything that they always did. Just together showing off.
That period of Disney is that hands. The hands had that really distinctive style. Like you know what I mean? Yeah.
That was
which-
Milt Kahl.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Now I know, and knowing's
Yeah.
half the battle.
And then, of course, Ken Harris with classic Warner Brothers. And he's the one who did, like, the Hazel Witch. He was known for doing, like, really funny character expressions with, like, Daffy Duck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Biggest claim to fame was, I think he was one of the lead, if not the lead animator with the Warner Brothers Frog.
Oh.
That was his baby. So go back a little old school.
So
there.
a name not as well known as, say, Jones or Clampett or anything, but certainly somebody who's
they became more
chops are-
producers. yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. No, cool.
But yeah, it's one of the things where in the animator sphere, like you're a big name, but that just means that you make a pretty decent paycheck. You know, you break even.
It's like most things in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. How do you make a small fortune in the entertainment
You don't
industry?
do
You start
animation.
with a large fortune.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Small loans, you know.
So I'm guessing this is pretty close to where you want to be, if not exactly where you want to be in the industry. But where do you see yourself going after this, or where do you want to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we interviewing him now? Oh, we are interviewing him. But I mean, are we interviewing him for a job now? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I mean, I'm curious. Like, where do you want to go?
So I've been looking into doing studio work. I'm actually going to be at Lightbox Convention this year in October, which is the animation convention up in Pasadena, California.
Ooh,
I'm going to be fishing my name in a couple of hats for some studio work. Now that the writers strike is over, we'll see what moves forward. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely want to do some more studio work, some in-house work, because I've been freelance for so long, and freelance is very rough because you get done with the project, and then you don't have a job, and then you got to find another job. So it's just fishing around constantly.
Scary.
Yeah,
which is terrifying.
But exciting at the same time.
yeah. You get brought on these projects. You're shoulder to shoulder with people you never thought, and then it's like a vivid dream. So
do you have like any like pet projects that you like return to, or any other personal projects that you?
Oh yeah. So the big thing I always say with people that ask me about what to do in the interim is to always have a project going, even if it's not going to lead anywhere, just to keep you fresh. I have at least like 3 pilots on the back burner. I have a couple graphic novels on the side, one that I'm currently working on. And then what usually happens is I get really far on it, and then as I'm progressing it, all of a sudden I get a phone call or a ring like, hey, do you have a project that you can dedicate like the next 2 weeks to? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah. And they're like, we know you're busy with whatever it is that you're working on. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's super busy.
Yeah.
Don't tell them I said that. I am super busy. Please contact me.
I'm busy all the time. Yeah.
Look busy, and then your time gets valued, kind of thing. So, for sure.
Okay, so you mentioned Lightbox. That's like the premier animation
Yeah. So
convention.
Like Gen Con in Indianapolis with board games. You have the San Diego Comic Con, that kind of thing. This one's more up and coming. I think this is less than 5 years old now.
Okay.
But essentially, it's with like showrunners, character designers, animators will all go there. I think it's in its 3rd or 4th year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's just getting over like that COVID gap too, so it's getting incrementally larger every year. So I got to hop on that. So
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to have some demonstrations there on that new iPad app coming out, Procreate Dreams?
Yeah.
Have, like demonstrations with that?
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that. It's going to drop in like
I've had
November.
Procreate Dreams, but you're looking with the sheets all sticky. Sorry.
Maybe no demos of that.
Wait, so hang
With
on.
wet media.
Forgive. Well, I'll ask you afterwards because I hadn't heard about this. So.
I don't know, just iPad. The app Procreate is coming out with an animation app in like a month, and it looks very good.
Yeah, because I've got
very
Procreate on my
accessible.
iPad,
Yeah.
but I use
And
it occasionally.
It's like the best drawing
Yeah.
app on the iPad. Anyway, that's it.
No, you've been using Procreate for a long while.
Yeah,
like, you've
since
used
it came
for,
out,
like,
I used it to make that Gorillas video.
Right.
Like with just finger painting with no stylus. It was
Oh, so
way back in
quickly,
the day.
plug your
Me?
Instagram.
Well,
real
we got
quick.
2 minutes
Yeah.
left.
BrandonEvans.art. One word. BrandonEvans.art.
Yeah, BrandonEvans.art.
Brandon
See,
Evans.
That's right. He does more than video and stuff. He's a really cool dude. But yeah, dude, it's been great having you. And the Stranger Things, the animated series, that sounds sick.
Look for
I'm
it
excited
coming
to see how
soon.
it goes.
We
So.
hope.
Yeah.
No, this is great. This has been a wonderful eye-opening. I'm an animation nut, so this is
Hell
just
yeah,
fun.
same.
It's
to
been
talk about.
eye-opening, which
Working.
is great because he's blind. So, sorry.
So it's very inspiring having you're the first animator that we've had in here, an active animator.
Oh, shoot.
So it's pretty freaking cool.
That's a low bar.
Well, I mean, in a good way. But with that being said, this has been another episode of Sorta Ridiculous. I'm Darren.
I'm Billy Ray.
I'm Misha.
Dominic.
And I'm Brandon.
All right, and we will catch you next week.
Probably on Thursday.